Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to learn one of the most important basics in Microsoft Excel, understanding rows, columns, and cells. If you are completely new to Excel, don't worry. By the end of this lesson, you will clearly understand how worksheets are organized and how to move around them with confidence. Let's get started. When you first open Excel program, you will see a large grid made of boxes. This grid is called a worksheet. The worksheet is organized into three main parts: rows that you can see with numbers in the left side, and columns that you can see them with letters in the upper side, and cells that actually every point here is a cell. Understanding these three things is a foundation of using Excel, and I will explain them in more detail now. What are rows? Rows are horizontal lines in Excel. They go from left to right across the worksheet, as you can see. On the left side of the screen, you can see numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. These numbers represent the row numbers. For example, row 1 is the first horizontal line here, and row 2 is below it, and row 3 comes after that. Every row in Excel has its own unique number. Rows are commonly used to store information for one record or one item. For example, one row could contain information about one student, another row could contain information about one product, another row could contain information about one employee. And what are columns? Columns are vertical sections in Excel. They go from top to bottom, and the top of the worksheet, you will see letters like A, B, C, and so on. These letters represent column names. For example, column A is the first vertical column, column B is next to it, and column C comes after that. After letter Z, Excel continues with AA, AB, AC, and more. Let's check it together. You can see here, after Z, it's AA, AB, AC, AD. And after AZ, we have BA, BB, and so on. So you can see the last column of the Excel. I will show you. If you press Ctrl and then right, you will see the last column of the Excel, that is XFD. And if you ask me how many columns do Excel have, I will tell you after click on this corner and pushing the button. And don't release it. You can see here the number of rows and columns. You can see that around 16,000 columns are included in Excel, and actually more than 1 million rows. That is more than enough for writing any table. To go back to the first column, again, I will press Ctrl and left, so I will see again A. Last row of the cell can also be seen by pressing Ctrl and bottom, so you can see the last row here, that is more than 1 million, and you can go up again with Ctrl and up. Columns are usually used to organize categories of information. For example, column A could contain names, column B could contain ages, column C could contain phone numbers, and so on. So columns help separate different types of data. And what are cells? Now let's talk about cells. A cell is a single box in the worksheet. Cells are created where a row and a column meet. For example, the box where column A and row 1 meet is called cell A1, as you can see here. The address is written here. And the box where column B and row 3, named as B3, and the box where column D and row 5 meet is called D5. It's simple. So the address of a cell is mentioned by the row number and column letter, and Excel names cells using column letter plus row number. So A1, C7, F12, these are all cell references. You can also rename a cell or a range of a cell. For example, if you select and drag some cells together, it's a range of a cell. You can rename them. You can rename them with a name like a range number 1. Or you can also rename a specific one cell. For example, if I write here cell 1, it's a new name here. So you can see the names specified here. And if I want to use a range in a formula, I can call them with their new names. But usually for a single cell, we don't use a specific name unless it's very important cell. Cells are where you actually enter data in Excel. You can type text, numbers, dates, formulas, functions, and anything directly into cells. And how to select a cell? To select a cell, simply click on it, any place inside the cell, not on the edges that you can see on the edges. There is a different cursor, but if you select any point of a cell, you can select it. When a cell is selected, you'll notice a border around it that is almost green in most of the versions of Microsoft Excel if you haven't changed it by your own. This means the cell is active and ready for data entry. For example, if you click on cell H5 as I selected and type hello, it will be available to receive a value, a text or a number, and word will appear inside the cell. After enter, you could see that I moved to the next cell, and the value here is allocated to the cell H5. I can rename it. I can edit it. If I double click, you can change it. Hello world. After enter, you could see that again, it's applied. I can also press F2 to rename and to edit it. Now I want to remove word. I can also, instead of pressing enter, press tab. In this way, you will see that it's moved to the right cell. The small box that I showed you for the addresses and references of the cell is named as name box, and you can see that where you are now working. For example, if the mouse cursor is here and this cell is selected, by reading the address in the name box, you can understand that you are actually working on a cell here. This helps you know exactly where you are in the worksheet. You can move between cells in different ways. I showed you in the middle of editing the cell. You can click with the mouse, so you're moving between different cells. You can arrow keys on your keyboard like this, up and down and left and right, or press enter to move down, or press tab to move right to the next column. Learning these movements will make working in Excel much faster for you. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine you're creating a student list. Column A can contain student names, like write a title for it, student names. It's another trick. If you double click here, you can adjust the width according to the length of the text inside the column. If the column B contains age, and also column C contains grades. Now every row can contain the information of every student. I can also add another column here by inserting a column, and I can write number. Now every row, number 1 is the name of the student, John Cartner, for example, and age 14, and grades A+. In this way, you can enter the data for every student here, row by row. So every row is for every student, and next row is another student. Each individual piece of information is stored in a cell. For example, the student name could be stored in B2, the age could be stored in C2, and the grade could be stored in D2. This is how Excel organizes data neatly and efficiently. Why understanding rows, columns, and cells is important? Almost everything you do in Excel depends on these basics. Whether you want to create tables, use formulas, make charts, sort data, filter information, or analyze some numbers, you first need to understand rows, columns, and cells. They are building blocks of every Excel worksheet. And that's it for today's lesson. Now you know what rows are, what columns are, what cells are, how Excel names cells, and how data is organized inside a worksheet. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next lesson. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.